Hi, this is McGarvelcuddy. I'm here to talk to you about web components today, and I'm going to show you how to make a web component using the OpenWC creator. So here I'm in my Cygwin terminal. I'm just going to go to Documents, and let's make a directory. I'll call this tutorial web component, and there we are inside. So I'm going to initialize the OpenWC right in here, and this should take a minute. And as I go through, alright, so and I'm going to create a new project. You could use this to mess with the previous project, and I'm going to make a web component, and we're just going to continue on. Tag name of my application component, tutorial page, tutorial WC, and yes, we will go with that file structure. And I'm gonna do this. Yeah, let's do it with yarn. Since I am a bit new, I do know, or I have used yarn more, and I'm more familiar with it, with its quirks. I'm not actually sure if I will need to have these dependencies, especially for something that's just going to be a tutorial, but nevertheless, we are going to have to wait for yarn. Alright, we're back, and it's finished. So, as it says right here, I'm going to cd tutorial web component, and I actually am not going to use npm run start. I'm going to use yarn start, and this is just because I've got yarn installed, and here is a just a introductory component. It's just something very simple. And I'm going to cancel that demo. So let's go into the demo, and I will show you what's in there. We've just got our index. So I'm going to open up code, open up my VS Code editor, open up the index, and so we've got our nice demo here. Div called demo, and we've got our web component rendering to it here. So, and you don't even really need that. You can just have, you can put in your web component tag, and it didn't autocomplete, and never mind, it did. I looked down for one moment. So now that, and I'll show, because this basically runs when I'm using the yarn start or any other thing. It's watching for updates. So here's my old one, here's the new one. So I haven't saved this yet, but when I do save it, watch how it in the terminal will say that it's reloading the connected browser, and now I have two of these components. So They are completely independent of each other. I can make this one go as high and such. So it's really useful for just very quickly making a web component. There are plenty of ways to make them more complicated, but this is just like the bare bones, largely, of what developing something like this would look like. And I'll just open up my tutorial web component JavaScript file, and that's where the component actually lives. It's a dummy item right now, it's empty. But here I can show you a previous component of mine. I'll close these out, and we will go back. Let's go back to so my first one that I made, actually that's just the name of the folder. We're going to be looking at the second web component I made, which is called Service Card. And you see here, it's basically the same format, maybe a little bit different. I've got image avatar in here just because that's part of what I wanted to have included. Technically should be in the demo section, and there we are. And oh my, it does not like being in this half window mode. There we go. So, and I will pull up, I'll pull up the code for this, and I'll close down my demos. And we will so there's the service card, and so as you can see here, I've got my tag, and I'm specifically saying image is this, title is this, and you can create, if you take my service card off of GitHub, back in here, if you take it off of GitHub, you could use these service cards too. Basically, just need to supply it with the information of what goes in the title, image, and information section, and you can use my cards there. And I'll pull up the JavaScript for that, and it is all right here. But yeah, it's just a very small render because it doesn't need to be very complicated. It's a very simple item, and doesn't need to be that advanced to be usable for multiple purposes. You could use that for a small biography section on a person, or you could use it for a service, as it's implied by the name, just on a website, anywhere that you want to just stick this little tag, as long as you import the item. And it is important to notice that I am using lit element for this. There are plenty of other ways, but lit element is pretty darn good for such a web component that's just this simple, and I want to have these properties. So yeah, this has been McGarvelcuddy. I hope you learned something, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.